All right, good morning, everybody. If you're looking for an opportunity to level up your cybersecurity knowledge and stay current, which is going to be demanded of you in any single job interview or any single job in cybersecurity, welcome to Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast, where over the next hour, me and you and friends like Augusta Delgado, Rick Kelly, S. Cole 07, Priceless Pancake, Code Brew, The Haircut Fish, Justin Gold, we're all going to be going through those top news stories, covering them from the headlines and then digging deeper into the actual stories to understand how we can apply the lessons learned from those stories in order to level ourselves up as cybersecurity practitioners or be able to crush. And when I say crush, I mean straight up put on waders and start stomping around job interviews, because you are going to be fully engaged and fully armed with information that you can bring to the table that's going to help you stand out as a candidate. All that and more as I apply my 20 years of experience in the industry and my absolute burning passion for cybersecurity to deliver this show for you over the next hour. I am so excited to be here this morning. Good morning, everybody. This is episode 931, I believe. I didn't even fix the Chiron. Today's episode 930 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. As always, each episode is worth half a CPE. So not only am I up here trying to give you value from a knowledge perspective, but let's knock out those CPEs so you can focus on what matters and not get sweaty around some type of identity governance workshop at the end of the year. All right. I see you, Mitchell Yeater. Mitchell Yeater, first timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Hold on, let's get this music sorted out. Mitchell Yeater, again, I'd be remiss if I didn't use the yeet sound effect, Mitchell. Mitchell Yeater, ladies and gentlemen, can you help us welcome Mitchell Yeater to the show? And Mitchell, you didn't even know I was going to ask for first timers, so good on you, my friend. If today's your first episode, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We love welcoming first timers. Also want to say quick shout out. I know I prefer not to do story time at the beginning of the show, but really quickly, shout out to all the Lyft and Uber drivers who are in chat right now. If you're in a Lyft and an Uber driving, I get it. You can't stop and say what's up in chat because you're focused on the road and you probably have passengers with you. But got a great story yesterday from somebody out of Washington, D.C. who hopped in a Lyft. And the Lyft driver said, "Oh, what are you doing?" They said, "Oh, I work in cybersecurity." This was a meeting I had yesterday. And they said, "Oh, cybersecurity. I like cybersecurity. I listen to a show every morning with some guy." And the guy's like, "Jerry?" And he's like, No, his name's Gerald. And he's like, "Yeah, it's the same guy." And then they high-fived. So for the Lyft and Uber drivers out there, holler at you. Welcome to the party, pal. Guys, we got a great show for you, as always. I'm super excited. It is Wednesday, which means we're going to be going around the world in just a hot minute doing Worldwide Wednesday, just showing you how wildly diverse and international this community is and how we are absolutely a community, and I freaking love it. Hunter, hold on, we're doing it today. Hunter Bowling, welcome to the party, pal. And if you are a Simply Cyber squad member, meaning that your name is in green and you have a SC badge next to your name, go ahead and open that emote tray. You've got extra emotes, including the John McClane first timer logo. There it is. Welcome to the party. It's so great to have you guys all here. I'm feeling the vibes, guys. I ate a cheese Danish already. The coffee is flowing. We are all up in this piece. Yeah, I don't know, Elliot Matisse. Lyft driver didn't mention if I had glasses on or not. All right, guys. Hey, before we get into it, let me say shout out and love to the stream sponsors, the Barricade Cybers, the Antisyphons, the Flare Academies, and the Threat Lockers. All going to be at Black Hat next week. So if you're around and want to say hi, be sure to say what's up to them. Dude, let me just get into this really quickly and run through my sponsor ad reads. Guys, Antisyphon training. If you didn't know, Antisyphon training is absolutely disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training institution by offering high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, regardless of financial position. I want to call your attention to this. At noon Eastern, Antisyphon training is offering 30 tips for secure JavaScript with Tanya Jenka. Tanya is known as She Hacks Purple. She is the AppSec. Like, when people think AppSec in our industry, they think of Tanya Jenka. This is a free webinar that anyone can attend, 1 hour. Bring a notepad. You'll leave with 30 tips, which is just amazing. So much value. Go check it out. I am friends with Tanya Jenka, just so everyone knows. She is a delight and very, very knowledgeable. So go check out this Anticast today. Free to sign up, free to giddy up on. I also want to say shout out and holla to Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions, guys. Listen, Steve Young, Augusta Delgado, Cyber Risk, which at some point you might find yourself trying to harden or secure a Microsoft 365 environment. Heck, Lord knows Mara Levy does, right? So if you don't have all the skills and knowledge to harden that M365 environment, that Microsoft 365 environment, then consider talking to Barricade Cyber Solutions. Their Fortified 365 solution is literally professional services where they will come in and put hands on keyboard and harden your environment for you and educate you up on what you need to know from an ongoing maintenance perspective. So strengthen your team's skill set and strengthen your environment's secure hardening for the cloud, okay? Breaches every day, you don't need that, especially if you're already paying for the security. Get your Microsoft 365 instance sorted out today with Barricade Cyber. I just dropped the link in the description, but Fortified-365 is what you want to look for. Whew. All right, guys. Let's just do the Threat Locker when we come back. It's going to be Worldwide Wednesday with Daft Punk all up in your face. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. Oh boy. Thank you very much to the sponsors. I also want to say shout out to Flare, but more about them in a minute. Yo, if you are a first timer here, drop a first timer in chat. James Bender started in an old episode. Well, welcome to the live party, pal. Yeah. I want to say a quick shout out to Spandex Thunderstorm in chat. Good to see you, Spandex Thunderstorm. Yo, only once a week do I play this song. And it only means one thing. It means we're about to show you how awesome this friggin' community is. I love this community. I love what you guys are doing. Dude, I see it. I'm a community member as well as, like, you know, the host or whatever. And I see you guys every day just putting it out there, leveling up, hooking the community up, delivering value. Last night, friggin' Chris Hidalgo, Luke Canfield crushing it with the public speaking quasi-Toastmasters event. Ryan Yeager doing the free community workshop on how to hack AD last night from Zoom. It was sick. But right now, let's go look at who is where in our community. And let's see, I'm going to set the timer for 2 minutes. If you don't know how this works, I set the timer for 2 minutes. We go to the map. You tell me where you are. I mark it on the map, and we see if we can get the every continent represented. So timer set. Timer set. Let's go. All right, here we go. JT Webb is in Greer, South Carolina, so the United States is online. Tech Grunts in Denver. Carrie's in Texas. All right, I love it. Columbia, we got, dude, South Carolina's bringing the heat. Brighton, Colorado, close second. Dirty Jers, Philly. Rich 464 bringing the Maple Leafs online. Robert Hendrickson's down in San Antonio. All right, Damien, Jamaica me crazy. Oh, hold on. Jesus, Guinea, what? All right, so we have a misfire here of Guinea. I don't know how to like undo Guinea, so we'll have to figure that out. Chicago, Colombia. Thank you, Andres Molina. Andres Molina always bringing South America online. Spandex Thunderstorm, you're in Kenya. Hell yes. All right, we got Africa officially online. Tanzania, Matthew Rogers. We're going to have to... I always have trouble with Tanzania. All right, Las Vegas. I'll see you in a few days, Kevin. Paraguay. Jose's in Paraguay. Oh, my God, bro. Ooh, Paraguay. You landlocked country, you. All right. Robert's drinking from his Citadel Cup. Very nice. St. Kitts and Nevis, Ethiopia. Holy crap. We are coming hot today. Hold on, I'm going to have to use the cheat thing. Ethiopia, right above Kenya. Bangladesh, I know where that is. Come on now, Bangladesh. Doink. Asia's online. Mexico. North America is just walking like Vince McMahon from the locker room. Germany's in here. Germany's in the house. Kenya's in the house. Heck yeah. Ireland. Kenya is also in the house too. What's up, Dublin? Hey, Finland. Petrie is in Finland. Scandinavia representing. South Florida. What's up, Philippines? Michael Vito coming in from the Philippines. Asia, the Pacific Rim is in here. We are all coming in hot. James Aquiggan representing the stratosphere for us today. India, Oceania, big old country. There you go. Drink Priceless Pancake. I don't even know what I said. Niagara Falls is in here. We're going to look at Tanzania in a minute. North America is on fire. All right. Oh, thank you. All right, let's go. Where are you at? Huntsville, Alabama. Coventry, UK, representing. Ireland's not getting all the love. Egypt, getting in right at the last second, Egypt. All right, we're on 20-second delay, so I'm looking at what you guys are typing here. 20 seconds. India, Philippines. Okay, while this is happening, I'm going to try to type Tanzania. Marcus Kyler, can we get Tanzania on here? For some reason, I think it's down here in like lower... there it is. Oh, man, I don't know what's going on in Africa right now, but the Ethiopia, Kenya, Tanzania district, like the East Coast over here, or East Coast-ish, you guys are dialed into the Simply Cyber community. I don't know if there's like a Somalia or Somaliland group out here, but all right. So MKT says France. We're going to mark France off, and then we're going to call it. All right, let's do an inventory, everybody. Ready? Let's count it down together. North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, and we don't have Australia. Guys, oi, oi, oi. Where's Crocodile Dundee? Where's the Foster's Beer? Where's the Kangaroos? Where's Bluey? Where's Bluey? Trinidad. We got all right, I'll mark Trinidad. Looks like we didn't do it today. All right, guys. It's not uncommon for us to miss. Hey, Dream Logic, good to see you. Dream Logic, Philippines. It's good to know. We always kind of mock Australia. It is like late in the middle of the night there, so we'll allow it. But guys, congratulations. So hey, if you want to meet somebody or ask a question about somebody from Tanzania or Paraguay, today's your chance because they're live in chat right now. Everything from Scandinavia to the Pacific Rim live with the Simply Cyber community right now. It's freaking awesome. Thank you so very much, everybody. So do me a favor now. It's time to get to work. So sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. See you guys at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Critical authentication flaw identified in Base 44 vibe coding platform. Wiz Research found a critical authentication flaw in Base 44's vibe coding platform, recently acquired by Wix, letting attackers bypass SSO and access private apps using only a public app ID. The issue came from exposed API endpoints that didn't need authentication, affecting apps with sensitive enterprise data. Wix patched the flaw within 24 hours and says there's no sign of exploitation. But Wiz notes broader risks in low-code AI development platforms where basic security controls can fail across shared infrastructure.
Okay. All right, here we go. So the dam has broke with the speed to market of technology growth and adoption because of AI. This was inevitable. Okay. Really quick, like let's define terminology in case, I don't want to make any assumptions about what people know. Vibe coding is essentially using AI to code. Now, really quick, for those who don't know, I was a software engineer in a past life, okay? Before I got into cyber, I did software, okay? And basically, when you are trying to like figure out what you're going to code, it's kind of it's not any different than like working on like a slide deck or something like that, right? If you were going to make a slide deck, you wouldn't sit down and like work on slide 1 and get it fully polished and finished and then go to slide 2. You would come up with a talk idea, then an outline, then, structure, then maybe the bullets. Then you would start doing the slide deck, and then you would start editing and removing slides and everything. And then finally, maybe you do graphics or something on the slide, right? You'd be an absolute lunatic. And I'm very inclusive, but I got to tell you, you got to be an absolute lunatic if like you do your slide decks like, okay, slide 1's going to be dialed in and finished before I go to slide 2. Vibe coding or coding in software is very similar, okay? So here's the thing. Oh, I want to write like a chat client or whatever, right? Now, normal programs are going to have multiple files and multiple pieces of code. It's not just like one monolithic file, okay? But what you typically do is you go through like what are the problems I have to solve? Like what are the functions I have to write to achieve whatever the goal is? What data do I have to write, right? You get an idea of the structure of what your program is going to look like. This is like modeling, okay? This is where algorithms come in. And I know we talk about the social media algorithm, but like really algorithms were originally a software construct, and it's the way you solve a problem, right? So a perfect example of understanding algorithms is when you're going to like, say I give you like a list of like words, and I want you to put them in alphabetical order, right? There's 1,000 words and I want them in alphabetical order. You can solve that problem many different ways. And from an end user's perspective, they just push the sort button and it comes back sorted. But from a programmer perspective, you can have really fast sorting or you can have really slow, clunky sorting. The end user gets the same result. It's just sometimes it might take a split second or it could take 2 seconds, right? All right. So that's that. Finally, the whole reason I'm building this all up to get to vibe coding is because then you do something called pseudo coding. Okay. And pseudo coding is where you basically start actually writing the code, but you're not using code construct. You're not using code keywords and stuff. You're basically saying, all right, like, so I would need a function here. So you might write function that takes in like 2 values, like, or let's use a stupid sort example again. Like I'm going to write a function and it's going to take the first 2 values of an array. So we have to pass it an array. We have to grab the first value. So you would just write like grab first value. So you pseudocode it and you look at it and then you say, okay, this looks good. And then you actually convert it into real code. This vibe coding thing basically allows you to not do the final step. It allows you to essentially pseudocode and get final results of code. Now that we've talked about that, and I said when the story first started, the dam is broken on this because here's the reality. When you abstract up a layer where you're not actually doing the coding anymore and you're depending on something underneath the hood, you introduce risk because you don't know what the final product looks like. You don't actually understand how the machine works. You just know the machine works. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, this is like low key similar to importing libraries that you haven't written yourself from like PyPy or NPM or something like that. You don't look at the source code and threat actors are writing malware to go into that source code, and you're importing it into your own applications. This is very similar. The AI by itself that is writing the code based on your pseudocode, which they're calling vibe coding. Like, listen, pseudocode is not sexy. Vibe coding is, okay? So it's just terminology. To me, it's the same thing, okay? The consistent issue here is that the AI platform is not inherently writing malware or being malicious, but because the people who are using it for coding, they can be software engineers, but it opens up the opportunity for tons of people who are not engineers or classically trained in how to write software to make software. And because of that, a threat actor can very easily go and get the same vibe coding platform and start asking it about how it builds code and what are the risks, right? And you've got a bunch of people who are running like basically with a blindfold on. That's basically what they're doing. They're running with a blindfold on, and they don't know what direction they're going on, and they don't know if there's an obstacle in front of them. And because of that, they can introduce problems that the vibe coding platform inherently has. We are going to see this. I'm telling you right now, the reason I'm spending so much time on this for this community right now is because this is going to be a massive issue for all of us. It's going to manifest in the same way that regular software issues happen. So, like, it's not like we're going to be like, oh, it's a vibe coded platform. All right, let's get FedEx in here. He's the vibe coding guy. No, it's not like that. It's software. My point is the exposure is going to be greater because you're going to have this like nexus of people who don't know what they're really doing underneath the hood combined with essentially a compiler. It's more than a compiler, but it's like a compiler. A compiler that any threat actor can query and use to discover where its flaws are. And this right here is its first instance, right? You can this thing natively bakes in authentication bypasses. So if you know that, listen, this platform, if anyone, this is the problem, it scales. If anyone used this platform to write code, they all have the likelihood of introducing these flaws into their code, which means any threat actor can quickly go find it, right? John V with a super chat. Thanks, John V.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
John V says vibe coding equals cyber job security. Yeah, dude, you're 100% right. 100% right. And again, I'm typically pretty, I don't know, maybe I'm not milquetoast, but I do try to bring a balanced perspective to these conversations. This one right here, I'm telling you, this is going to be a major issue. There's even rumors, I can't be specific about where I heard this or what I heard, but there's rumors that there's even other platforms that are making huge news in our industry in the last week that were vibe coded also. Okay, so this, like, I'm telling you, like, I'm going to probably make a sounder or something for these vibe coding flaws being news stories. All right. Let me know if you got any thoughts in chat. I was like, I like kind of like blacked out and just started screaming about vibe coding and teaching about that. But yeah, hopefully, guys, really quickly, I do want you to know, if you're a regular here, you already know this. If you're a first timer or a newcomer, listen, I love trying to deliver as much value. It gives me great pleasure to serve this community. So if you didn't know about the software engineering stuff, I hope it helped you. And if you did, I hope I just affirmed what you already knew. All right, AI for the dub.
Shall we play a game?
French telecom giant Orange discloses cyber attack. French telecom giant Orange disclosed a cyber attack on one of its information systems, detected and isolated on July 25th by Orange Cyber Defense. The incident caused temporary service disruptions for some French customers, though no data theft has been confirmed. No attacker has been identified either, but the breach has similarities to recent global telecom intrusions linked to China's Salt Typhoon cyber espionage group. FBI.
All right, hold on really quickly. This is fine, but going back to this story, because I do think that this is like, this is one of those stories that you would never see as like the main headline. Like St. Paul, Minnesota getting ransomware is the main headline of today, like the real main headline. CISO series is always like a day behind. But this story would never be the main run story because it's not obvious that it's so important. This is big for us, okay? But there was a quick comment in chat that I think warrants a discussion really quickly. Jesus, where is the comment? I hope it didn't get deleted. Somebody said, oh, here it is. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to say your name. Dejka, you don't have any vowels in your name, sir. D-E-Y, well, I guess E's a vowel. D-E-Y-J-K-D-S-T-J, whatever, said, but shouldn't vuln scanning tools catch this or static code analysis? Really quick, yes, it is possible to discover some of these issues, but not all. Like, dude, they're already vibe coding, right? So normally static code analysis is going to happen at the developer, right? These people are already paying for non-developers to vibe code, or they're tech startups with like 3 guys in a garage and a lady trying to whip up something. They're not going to do static code analysis. You got to remember, static code analysis is a security thing. These people are trying to make a viable product and go viral and, get angel investors and go to the moon and make straight cash.
Straight cash, homie.
Right? So static code analysis, yes, it might catch these things. Also, you said vuln scanning tools. Again, maybe, but with a vuln scanning tool, if you just scan the software, if those libraries aren't activated, if those APIs aren't documented, you're not going to know about them, right? If they're uniquely named, your scanning tools aren't going to know to query them, and you're not going to see them. So the tools you're talking about are fine, but in practice, there's a lot of gaps that will result in those tools either not being used altogether or not discovering the problem. So yeah, it's good thought though. That's why I wanted to stop and call it out. All right. French Telecom, which I read as orange, but apparently I'm a crude, fat American over here. It's pronounced orange. Guys, I got to tell you, I love French pronunciations of things. I know Pepe Le Pew is probably fallen out of being politically correct because it was such a caricature of French people, but orange, by the way, shout out to Tour de France. That just wrapped up. Little Tidbits Tuesday on a Wednesday. I used to love watching Tour de France. I hate riding bikes, but as a competition, it's phenomenal. Until Lance Armstrong absolutely polluted it by cheating. Okay, so French Telecom gets hacked. Okay, if I had to get, like, my immediate thought here is Salt Typhoon in China. Let's see. Okay. Compromise was detected by Orange Cyber Defense. They have their own cyber unit. Very cool. Let's see. Okay, dude. Okay, see, I don't research or prep these shows at all. So I want you to know, I don't want you to think that like I'm trying to like pump my own tires by looking like I know what the hell I'm talking about. While Orange has not attributed the cyber attack to a specific hacking group, the incident bears resemblance to a widespread of breaches linked to China's Salt Typhoon. It feels good. It feels good to guess right, but also at the same time, it sucks because like Salt Typhoon's definitely a sophisticated advanced threat actor that wants to get into things. Here's the TLDR. Okay, number one, if you're looking for inspiration on a perfect execution of a incident response, French telecom giant Orange nailed it. If you go through this story, and I'll drop a link in chat to this story, if you go through it, literally they do all the things. They detect attack. They quarantine and segment the section of the network, or they quarantine that spot of the network. They then clean it up. They then do an incident response, a lessons learned, try to understand where the problems came from, do attribution if possible, and then move on. This is like it, dude. This is a case study on incident response. Let's see. Sierra Montgomery says, good morning, everybody. Tsunami situation, hot show coming up tonight with Daniel and Jerry. Yeah, I will be on Daniel Lowry's show tonight after dark, which is cool. I am not up to date on the tsunami thing, though. Mods, can you put something tsunami related in here so I can just be informed? So, yeah, so here's the TLDR. If you work at a telecommunications company, chances are you're a big conglomerate, and I don't know how much change you can make, but you should absolutely be looking at Salt Typhoon's TTPs.
Is $2.4 million in Bitcoin from new Chaos ransomware operation. The FBI seized over $2.4 million in Bitcoin from a member of the new Chaos ransomware operation, now traced to attacks on Texas-based companies. The funds were tied to an affiliate known as HORS, that's H-O-R-S, and confiscated on April 15th. The Department of Justice filed a civil forfeiture complaint on July 24th to claim permanent ownership. As we covered in Tuesday's show, this Chaos Group is believed to be a rebrand of Black Suit Ransomware, itself an offshoot of the defunct Conti gang. The seizure follows law enforcement pressure and recent takedowns of ransomware infrastructure linked to Black Suit. Poland.
All right, I'm talking about the big D, and I don't mean Dallas. Drink. That's a classic throwback country song. Dude, you do not. Here's the thing. Chaos Ransomware is the rebrand of Black Suit. Believed, if you go up the chain far enough, believed to be a grandchild of Conti Ransomware Group. And the FBI seized $2 million in Bitcoin. So all you cryptocurrency people getting all frothed up in chat, there's $2 more million of Bitcoin that's being pulled out of circulation. But I want to call your attention to this. This is not common, okay? The FBI, the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, seizing cryptocurrency, not super common, because oftentimes it can be difficult. Like, those threat actors do like to protect their wallets. Let's see. So the crypto was seized back in April, which is great. They did trace it to a certain crypto address, which is fine. I can't believe this crypto address had $20 million in Bitcoin in it. Dude, don't mess with Texas, man. They're legit. I'm trying to figure out how they got it. Like, you'd have to imagine that the crypto wallet was contained in a US-based exchange for the FBI to get it, right? Let's see. Yeah, see, they talk about Conti right here, suffering a breach in 2022. Then it became Royal. I forgot about that. See, I never thought Royal was this one, but yeah, Royal had its day for a hot minute. I feel like Royal was attacking schools more than anything. All right. This is kind of sucks, though. Like, literally, okay. So this story is basically, I personally, just, I guess it's, we're going to get personal here. Stories like this bother me, okay? This is so filler. The FBI did seize $2.4 million in Bitcoin. Very, very cool. There's absolutely no explanation in here on how or what next steps are. It's like they did it. And then, like, most of the story is about, like, the background of, like, what civil forfeiture is and, you know, like, this chaos ransom. Like, I don't know, dude. It's like, whatever. I guess maybe I'm pissed because it's not answering the questions I want answered. Like, where basically, here's the thing. The FBI isn't world police. We can't just go and take someone's cryptocurrency. The whole point of crypto is that it's decentralized, right? Bitcoin is decentralized. No central government can control it. So for the United States FBI to seize $2.4 million, they either had to have physically wrested the hardware wallet from this guy, or got an exchange who was holding the keys to that wallet and gave it to the FBI under subpoena or something like that. But if that's true, then which exchange? Because that's interesting. Because listen, if you're good enough at crime that you've amassed $2 million in Bitcoin, why would you be so stupid to hold it in a US-based or a US-friendly exchange. It just seems crazy to me. I don't know. Anyways, not much here. I guess the only thing here that's good to know is that, well, first of all, of course, I missed this.
Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the street.
The good news is we have law enforcement out there helping us. Thank you, law enforcement.
It says more than 30 suspects face trial over pro-Russian sabotage. Poland arrested 32 individuals from multiple nationalities, including Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Colombian, for allegedly conducting sabotage and arson attacks on behalf of Russian intelligence since the start of the war in Ukraine. One Colombian suspect has already been convicted in the Czech Republic for a series of arson attacks tied to a broader Russian hybrid warfare campaign using Telegram to recruit operatives. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk warned that any efforts to destabilize the country would be met with ruthless action.
All right. Yeah, F around and find out. Basically, here's what's up. Poland's right there next to Ukraine, I believe. Here, let's go to the map. Yeah. Poland does border Ukraine pretty heavily there. Belarus to the north, Poland to the west. So, I mean, sharing a border, there are going to be a lot of people all up in their spaces. 27-year-old Colombian man, Andres Molina. Were you aware of this? Makes no sense. There's like a Polish, a Russian, a Ukrainian, a Belarusian. All these are like Eastern Europeans, and then like a Colombian jumps in here. I don't know what's up with that, but I will note that South America is legit. There's a lot of very good cyber practitioners in South America, a lot on the offensive side, hacking stuff. These guys were gonna, basically these 32 people were conducting cyber operations to get information so they could do physical harm, sabotage, and arson attacks on infrastructure. Okay, they set fires to construction supply depots. They were terrorists, straight up, and they're organizing, and Poland is putting the kibosh down. Good. Insert new country name here and insert pro other country name here. Dude, what are we doing here? Like, can we just live in a modern civil society and not resort to like terror tactics? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like altruistic here or something, but like, what are we doing here? Anyways, Poland's bringing them to justice, and good. Let's make a big public spectacle of it to hopefully deter other people from wanting to commit terror attacks in the future.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, DropZone AI. What if your SOC could investigate every single alert without burning out your team? That is exactly what DropZone AI does. They're the leader in autonomous security investigations, and companies like Zapier and Fortune 500s are already on board. Their AI works alongside your analysts, handling the routine so humans can be strategic. See them at Black Hat in Startup City, booth 6427, or experience it yourself. DropZone.ai has a self-guided demo ready for you.
I'm actually trying to talk to the DropZone AI people at Black Hat. I was told that like their CISO or their CEO is like a really cool lady. So I'm trying to like have a cool conversation with her. All right, guys, really quick. All right, holla, holla, holla. We're going to speed run the mid-roll because of we did Worldwide Wednesday at the beginning. 375 of you people today in chat. Great to see you all. I hope you're having a good show. If you have any constructive feedback on the program, I certainly appreciate it. Some of you regulars may have noticed I've been trying to make the open of the show not have an opening song, and I go immediately into the value proposition of this show. So I'm trying to do that to help people understand what we're doing here. Guys, I do want to say really quickly, shout out to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Antisyphon Threat Locker, and Flare. Didn't mention Flare yet, but guys, Flare Training Academy, they are absolutely hooking it up. Flare.io is a cyber threat intelligence platform that I personally like, but they have the Flare Academy, which is an absolutely free service where they bring in industry professionals who are very seasoned, and they give you education in a specific space that they are experts in that you can benefit from. So if you are looking for access to 20 plus years seasoned practitioners who want to share their knowledge, kind of similar to what I do every day, come to flare.io/trainings. I want to show you this. August 13th, for $0, you can have Kevin Johnson, if you don't know who Kevin Johnson is in our industry, I'm asking you to strongly consider going to this talk and getting to know him. He is awesome. He is an awesome instructor. Dude, he could read me a Chinese food menu and it would probably be awesome, okay? He's going to be doing this Lord of the Rings inspired Burglar's Guide to Web App Testing, Stealing Secrets Like a Hobbit, on August 13th at 11 a.m. I'm actually going to check my schedule. I may attend this thing. Let me do a quick little sniff here of the schedule. I currently, my sons have an orthodontist appointment. Got to confirm Mrs. Auger can take the boys, but I will be at this thing otherwise. All right, guys, I want to say thank you, all of you. All the links to all the sponsors are in the description below. It does help if you click on them. So go ahead and give a click if you got time. Let's jump ahead and get the laws on. Alpha's here. Get ready. Enjoy, everyone. We're halfway through the show. Let's keep cooking. All right, let's finish strong, everybody.
FBI CISA warn about scattered spiders' evolving tactics. The FBI and CISA issued an updated advisory warning that scattered spider remains a serious threat, using sophisticated social engineering and intrusion tactics, including phishing, MFA fatigue, SIM swapping, and ransomware like Dragon Force to breach systems, including encrypting VMware ESXi servers. Despite recent arrests tied to the gang, US, UK, Canadian, and Australian authorities emphasized that scattered spiders' evolving techniques continue to pose a big risk to national security and critical infrastructure.
Yeah, scattered spider is nasty. They are on the world stage, not because of their devastation or because of their sophistication or whoever they're tied to, nationally speaking. They are actually quite the freelance. Like they literally don't care about any specific country. They just like money and lots of it. Straight cash, homie. The TLDR here is, personally, I don't ever want to be on any FBI list. And these guys are not only on the list, but they're high up on the list. So that to me typically would indicate that at some point in the next 12 months, scattered spider is absolutely going to be decimated by federal law enforcement. Second of all, in the interim, may I strongly encourage you all to focus on strengthening your support desk verification procedures for individuals asking for authentication-related questions, MFA swaps or disablement, password resets, like one-time codes, like anything that has to do with anything authentication. Harden the living hell out of that at the support desk. Even educate your support desk of scattered spiders techniques. Like, this is what they're doing. This is how it works. Like, be on the mind of it, right? Like, whenever someone calls, be helpful, but also be firm. And like, listen, here's the reality. You gotta train people on the emotional piece of it. Social engineers are not stupid. They're not gonna be like, hello, my name is Sarah reset password. Like they're not idiots, okay? They're gonna be like, oh hey, like I'm at the airport. Like they can pump in airport sound effects in the background. They can use a mixing board, right? I can make Ric Flair appear in my studio, right? They can stick airport ambience noise in the background. Be like, hey, I'm about to get on this flight right now, and I'm trying to log in, and the Wi-Fi is super slow, and this is just fucking killing me, and I need help. I need access. I'm gonna get fired. My wife just had a baby. I was told if I missed this email, I was gonna get fired. Do you want me to not be able to feed my child? It's a brand new baby. My wife said she's gonna leave me. Oh, help me. So what's the support desk? Sorry about that for the F-bomb. Listen, the support desk person is now put in a compromising position because now they're going to appear callous and cold when they're like, I would love to help you. I would love to see your marriage not dissolve. I would love for you not to get fired. However, I will require you to do X, Y, and Z before I can assist you. This is why, I'm sorry, guys. It's just, that's what the social engineer is going to do. It is a far cry. Like, this is why, I'm sorry. I got all distraught here. This is why you need to put in technical controls that don't allow your service desk to be basically compromised through emotion, right? So if the person on the phone is like, I'm going to get fired, my wife's going to leave me, they're going to take my kids away, blah, they could say, I would love to help you in every fabric of my body. I would love to help you. But the machine is asking me to type in your social security number. I don't know it. Do you? I can't help you. Like, I need you to help me. And then you don't even have to say this, it's implied, but like, if you are literally you would know the answer to this question, right? So, anyways, I would just say, if you can, number one, definitely educate your support desk. But number two, if you can, put technical controls in place to not allow that. Or just introduce the fake technical controls. Tell your support desk, listen, it's okay to tell them that you can't help them unless they can do these things, and tell them there is a technical control preventing you from doing something. But you've got to give your support desk these extreme examples, or else it's going to hit differently when a threat actor does it.
Nimble Gunra ransomware evolves with Linux variants. The Gunra ransomware group released a sophisticated Linux variant capable of encrypting files using up to 100 concurrent threads, a pretty big evolution from its original Windows targeting malware. Strand researchers say that the variant supports partial encryption and configurable settings, giving attackers greater control and greater speed. After gaining notoriety for high-profile breaches, the group is now apparently targeting diverse industries across multiple countries. Autocolor.
All right. We are running behind on time, so I'll just touch on this one briefly. Dude, if you think that Linux is secure, you're gravely mistaken. It's just an operating system. It does the same things. It writes files to disk. It runs code. And the Gunra ransomware gang. Oh, Justin Gold, you want to take a screenshot of this Bitcoin? Ooh. Like somewhere in upstate South Carolina, Justin Gold just turned the lights out. All right, that's your Justin Gold minute right there. So Gunra's ransomware Linux variant, basically it's really fast encryption apparently, which is fine. It's a multi-threaded encryption. Multi-thread just means it's fast moving. You can see here it says fast moving threat. They're targeting everybody and anybody. If you're basically running Linux OS, you're a target. Brazil, Japan, Canada. So North America, Asia, South America, United States, healthcare, IT, agro. They don't give a flip, dude. This Gunra ransomware group, you want to talk about straight cash, homie?
Straight cash, homie.
These guys, they're living that life. Dude, they're driving 90 in the fast lane with the top down, screaming money ain't a thing. Drink space tacos. All right. There's nothing here really outside normal stuff, right? Like this is ransomware, do all the things. I'm trying to see if they're offering anything specific. Yeah, okay. So, like, to do this, organization should, this is the guidance, okay? Implement a comprehensive security strategy that systematically allocates resources to strong defenses researchers recommend. Hello. Like, listen, I love cybersecurity, okay? I live it, I breathe it, I talk about it, I go to school for it, I bore my wife with it. I love cybersecurity. Between you and me, if you don't know what you're doing, where is it? If you don't know what you're doing, then this probably seems like a really great example. Did AI write this? Dude, this is the biggest PHR fluff and stuff, nothing burger guidance possible. Researchers recommend you implement a comprehensive security strategy to systematically allocate resources to establish strong defenses. Are you joking me? Yes. No Sorry, I have been in Massachusetts too long, okay? The old Boston's getting up in me. Listen, no kidding. This sentence right here is literally our job. This is the job description for our industry. You bunch of tits. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's move on. Like, this is useless. No kidding. This is what you're supposed to do. Whatever. Dude, how about this? Let me give you some actionable insights, okay? Do all the things. When you are securing your organization, okay? You should think about it this way. Like, break it down, okay? Number one, simply swearing. I'm sorry. I am sorry, y'all. Okay, I don't know what it is. If it's the coffee, if it's my vibes, I'm sorry. Okay, listen. Number one, break out your defenses. People, process, technology. Those are the three groups that you need to focus on for ransomware defense. People, okay? Educate your end users. Make them aware. Number two, people. Make sure that your workflows and processes here. Yeah, no kidding. Hold on. Number two, for people, if there was ever a time for the glasses to come on. Listen, if there was ever a time for Jerry Guy. Okay. I'm like sweating. I'm so embarrassed about what I just did there. Listen. People, process, technology. Educate your workforce. For your IT counterparts and your cyber people, make sure they understand workflows and processes. Make sure everybody on the team knows how to do backup recovery. Okay, so people isn't just end user awareness. There's a lot more to it. So what I would say is end user awareness and tabletop exercises, people. On the technology side, this is the obvious one people think of. Harden your stuff. EDR solutions to prevent malware detonation. Email gateways to prevent inbound phishing attacks. Firewalls to prevent C2 communication. The technology one's the one everybody gets all geeked up about, right? Number three is process. And this is like, how are things actually done, right? Like help desk, are you allowed to reset someone's creds without any verification? What's the process? For recovery, okay? What is the order on which we recover applications? Which ones are the mission critical ones? Which ones are dependent, right? Like, say you get hit with ransomware. If you don't stand up Active Directory first, you can't authenticate to system resources if you re-enable them first. And sometimes restoring systems, like say you had to restore an SAP cluster, that's going to take like 30 hours. Like, this isn't a video game where you push enter and like the friggin' environment is recovered. It takes a lot of time. So if you don't do them in the right order of operations, you could be just wasting time. These are the process. These are the three things you need to think about when you're talking about securing and protecting from ransomware impact. not implement a comprehensive security strategy that systematically allocates resources. That is the least actionable guidance I've seen. AI. Sorry. This show's off the rails.
AutoColor backdoor malware exploits SAP vulnerability. In other Linux news, a Linux targeting malware called AutoColor is exploiting a critical SAP NetWeaver vulnerability to infiltrate systems, with the first known attack hitting a U.S. chemical company back in April. The malware acts as a remote access Trojan and uses advanced persistent techniques to evade detection, establish control via TLS, and stay dormant when disconnected from its command server. Supply chain attacks spotted in GitHub Actions.
Hold on, I didn't even get this one. SAP vulnerability hit. So, hey, 1987, McKinsey Consultants called. They want their SAP back. LOL. If you're a Gen Z, you probably don't know, but like, dude, in the 80s and early 90s, back in my day, like, these large ERP solutions was like, you basically just come in, advise that they get an ERP solution, go cash your check and move on to the next business. But if you're running SAP NetWeaver, this would obviously be a large enterprise. Like, small businesses are not deploying SAP. So let's look at this one really quickly. All right, so there's a flaw here that got so the initial infection is this vulnerability. Let's take a look really quickly. I'm going to use DJ BSEC's EPSS lookup tool. That does take a minute. In fact, actually, we'll just use Barricade Cybers because theirs is faster. All right, so, oh God, wow, this is nasty, dude. Look at this. 63% chance that if you're running an SAP NetWeaver, you will get exploited in the next 30 days. This is very high. 98th percentile of how bad it is. This is awful. It's a CVSS score of 10 out of 10. Bros, this is really nasty business. Unauthenticated agent to upload binaries to a server, which is basically going to be malware. Yeah, this is not good. I would say this. If you're running SAP NetWeaver, you should absolutely stop and connect with your application team. Chances are, if you're a big enough organization to run SAP, you have an application team, and get this patched, okay? You gotta patch it. You can see here. I mean, this is pretty much. This is literally what I'm saying. So as much as I made fun of the last story for having like dog crap recommendations, this one's solid. Organizations running SAP NetWeaver need to recognize that the Visual Composer metadata uploader flaw is now weaponized in the wild, that adversaries are using it to plant the AutoColor remote access Trojan on Linux hosts. All right. So they're putting a remote access Trojan on Linux devices. So here's the TLDR. Number one, if you're running the NetWeaver, get it patched. Number two, if you can't patch it for whatever reason, that does happen, make sure that you're running EDR solutions on your Linux servers and that it's able to detect, this particular payload. Additionally, it does require C2, so make sure that you're monitoring traffic inbound and outbound of your Linux servers as well. Yeah, so be careful of that. Darktrace is the one that did the research on this one. I think Darktrace got acquired. Darktrace is the first company that used AI for like basically EDR type stuff. It got a lot of flack because you couldn't really tune it because it was AI, but this was like an AI EDR solution like in 2015, back in the day. Melanin Certified said, this guy's hard to listen to before 12. Where's Tyler Ramsbo? I'm sure she means Tyler Ramsby. If I'm tough to listen to before 12, I'm not sure. Definitely show's not going to change It'll definitely be 8 a.m. Eastern every day. But apologies, Melanin Certified, if I'm difficult to listen to.
Gravity forms, and NPM. Researchers at Armis Labs uncovered major software supply chain attacks in GitHub Actions, the UAParser.js NPM package, and the Gravity Forms WordPlus plugin, all involving backdoors or poisoned code that jeopardized thousands of systems. These incidents remind us how trusted developer tools can be compromised and how AI-driven coding practices are being exploited. Experts warn that attackers can now backdoor vast numbers of software projects in days, making early detection and code integrity checks more critical than ever. If you're in...
All right, so this is actually playing nicely with the vibe coding story that I spent like a good 10 minutes on this morning. Supply chain attacks spotted in GitHub, Gravity Forms, NPM, PyPy, the Visual Studio library coder thing. I don't even remember what that's called. Dude, this is super common. Like dark reading is just, basically doing another hot lap around the room as far as reporting on this. Armis Labs, I'm almost positive Armis is the passive vulnerability scanner. Priceless Pancake says, hard to listen to? Nah. Hard to look at? Yeah, Armis is a passive vulnerability scanner solution. I don't know if anyone's got any experience with Armis. Let me know. They did a POC with us. I was like, whatever, it's fine. But what do we got here? Let's see. The first notable exploit the researchers occurred as part of a campaign affecting GitHub's actions, a CI/CD pipeline. Okay. They replaced the version tag associated with one GitHub action, review dog/action, to point to the malicious code. So this is actually really interesting. So in this particular instance, they didn't put in malicious code necessarily to the original project. They changed part of the like the CI/CD pipeline, so part of the code would point to a malicious section of code they controlled. Interesting. I mean, obviously, you want to make sure that you are, if you're running code and making code for your business, you really want to make sure that you either have controls around who has pull request access, who has access to commit code changes to the environment, and then actually reviewing them. If you're just spamming accept all, that's not a good practice. This right here, this supply chain source code attack, this is super common. We're seeing this all the time right now. If you have a dev team, make them aware of this. If you have, researchers who are doing their own thing, make them aware of this. This is a really difficult one to stop. Now, I do want to say that the suggestions I'm making is left of boom. You want to make sure that, like, this is left of. So you're making sure that the malware doesn't even get inserted into the code in the first place. But when malware does get baked into your code, you should have defense in depth, right? Your EDR solution, you should be testing these things and seeing anomalous behavior. You should see things getting written to clipboard, things trying to reach out to C2 nodes and stuff like that. So don't just be lazy and be like, oh, code developed. Send it. Let's go get tacos. All right. So I do want to say a quick shout out. John, Priceless Pancake made the joke, but also
we just become best friends. Yep.
Super chat. John V with the $100 super chat. Good grief.
We just become best friends. Yep.
$100. Thank you, John V. Let's go. John V, my AI friend, says, you are my favorite, and this show has changed the way I cyber, especially in AI and other emerging tech. Well, thank you, John. I do appreciate that. And really quickly, John, if you're interested in AI and ML security, on the Simply Cyber Discord server, so simplycyber.io/Discord will take you to the server. There is an AI ML channel for talking about security in AI and ML all by itself, and John V is heavily involved in that particular channel if you're looking. So, John, thanks for the super chat. All right, guys, check it out now. I want to say thank you, all of you, for attending episode 930 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. For all of you, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did not enjoy me, Tyler Ramsby does do the show from time to time. It's not a predictable schedule, but you could certainly check him out. He also has his own YouTube channel. So if you'd like to check out Tyler, go to Hack Smarter on YouTube, and you can get all the Tyler that you want. I'm just out here trying to do the best I can and deliver value to you. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I apologize for all the swearing and cussing, but I was pretty passionate today. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to be pivoting over to jaw jacking, where I will be delivering more value as best I can. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jaw Jacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some jaw jacking. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name's Jerry Guy. Who didn't enjoy the Simply Cyber takeover, where I bumped that nerd, Dr. Gerald, out of the a-hole chair? I slid in, started dropping F-bombs, T-bombs, hot takes galore. Let's get it.
Shall we play a game?
All right, for real though, my name's Jerry. I love cyber. I'll be at Black Hat DEF CON next week with my beautiful, witty, intelligent, and absolutely just my motivation wife. So if you're around, high fives. If you're going to be in Vegas, you don't even have to go to the conference. If you're going to be in Vegas on Friday, August 8th, I do want to let everybody know the circle is tightening or closing on being able to go to our event. Here, let me do this really quickly. We've got the Simply Cyber Hack Smarter Community Meetup. Tyler Ramsby's going to be there. Simply Cyber Hack Smarter Community. Beer Zombies Brewing on Bonanza Road, Las Vegas, Friday, August 8th, 4 to 7 p.m. I actually purchased wristbands. So you'll, obviously, you have to register. It's $5. 100% of proceeds, 100% of proceeds go to Black Girls Hack. So we get nothing. We're literally doing the $5, A, to raise money for Black Girls Hack, but B, to control headcount. That way we don't, because it's wicked common to register for all of the parties and then go to none of the parties. And we actually we have a hard headcount number we can't go past. So we wanted to make sure that everybody who wanted to go could go. So we put a small financial gate in the way. So when you get there, we'll check you off, get your name, get your wristband and all that. All right. Hold on. It's this right here. I'll drop a link. I hope you can make it. Quick shout out. I saw CJ in chat. CJ helped organize this. Thank you, CJ. All right. If you got a question, drop it in chat with a Q, and I'm here to answer all your questions. Let's go. All right. Sierra Montgomery is going to get the crispiest high five. Dream Logic says, Mrs. Auger, stay pretty. She absolutely will always be. All right. Zach says, is the job market right now different to what it was 2 to 4 years ago? Yeah, it is. It is right now, honestly, Zach Morrison. There are still jobs in cybersecurity, okay? I just saw someone get one the other day, right? We celebrated it on stream. What I will say is, anecdotally, there's a couple things going on. Number one, there's two things going on, okay? Now, please get your tinfoil hats on. If you are a squad member, go in the emote tray and you will see a tinfoil hat of my head. Okay. Zach Morrison asked about the job market. Here's what I'm seeing on the job market, okay? It's rough out there. Period. Full stop. 2 to 4 years ago, here's what happened, okay? Listen. Pandemic happened. You know, people's I would say that people's expenses kind of went down after like 2021, and they had some money. Okay, and this is not political. This is just reality. Okay, between the United States has a lot of influence globally. Okay. The current U.S. presidential administration is doing a lot with tariffs. It's doing a lot with tariffs, and there's like a lot of decoupling of global supply chain, which whatever, fine. But the issue is, the impact is, it's costing more money for businesses, which are pushing down those prices to consumers, which are not buying these things. So if you look at like beef, for example, and I know, Zach, you're like, what the hell does beef have to do with cyber job market? But just hear me out. It's all related, okay? Beef is like hamburgers, like $9 a pound or something stupid, right? So people are spending less money, which means they're spending less money on product, right? So businesses that are making product are making less revenue. When you make less revenue, you have less budget to spend on stuff like cyber. Right? Remember, cyber is a cost center that's nice to have. It's really important, but at the end of the day, if you cut cyber out, all you're doing is increasing your risk profile. You don't have an immediate impact. You just have more risk. And some businesses are like, I can't afford to stay in business unless I take this risk, okay? So the economy, those decisions that are impacting John and Jane Q. Public at the grocery store are having a trickle-up effect on what businesses are able to make and then spend on budget, which means they're hiring less. On top of that, Israel is a cyber superpower, okay? And a ton of cybersecurity-related product comes out of Israel. In case you haven't been under a rock, Israel is in a war right now, like a legit war. And because of that, their focus really isn't on all of that. And people investing money into businesses and products coming out of Israel, anecdotally, I suspect, is less. Because if you are an angel investor or a VC and you have a ton of money that you want to put to work, and you look over here and you're like, if I give this money to this business and then something catastrophic happens to that business, like physically, the people, the building, the business get hit in some military strike, it's cold and callous, but that's what an investor is thinking. Like, oh, that doesn't seem like a good investment. So anyways, all of this is to say that I believe those two factors specifically are strongly negatively impacting the job market. It's slowing down. It's not that the jobs are going away. It's just that it's slowing down. Okay, that's my tinfoil hat. If anyone else has thoughts on that, let me know. And I hope that helps you. And I'm sorry, Zach. I know that that's not a great answer, but... All right, hold on. All right, hey, what episode? So Easy Does It says the episode on Darknet Diaries opened my eyes. Which episode are you talking about? I would love that to know. Carrie says, how's the weather? Weather's great. Clear skies. Gentle zephyr coming out of the east at a good 7 miles an hour. I'll probably go for a run. I have been running my face off while I've been in Massachusetts. 6 miles a clip. I'm running 3 times a week, 6 miles a day. It's wonderful. I love it. Olivier says, if I wanted to eventually get a role as a cloud engineer and I am a sysadmin, what should I work on as far as home labs and skills? Dude, all day, every day, cloud platforms. Now, what I personally, and anyone who's like a big cloud person in chat, please weigh in on this. But for me, there is a lot of transferable skills to becoming an Azure admin. When you say sysadmin, I'm just going to assume that you're a Windows Active Directory system administrator, like that's the environment you're working in. Dude, Azure AD or Microsoft Entra, getting good at that. Microsoft Azure has an A-load of training. What I would say is, this isn't a great answer because it's not free, but what I would say is, spend whatever, $10 a month spin up your own Azure like little environment, right? Couple bucks a month, and work through administering and managing a little like environment, right? If you can, your home environment, right? If you can, like this would be like the nails way to do it. But if you could, I would set up a little Active Directory in your home, and then join it to like Microsoft Entra, have a hybrid environment, and then just go through, like, depends what you want to do, but like go through hardening the Azure AD tenant, go through the configurations, do conditional access, right? Do all these things that are like basically, you know, not entry level, but like obvious security controls and stuff like that. Maybe deploy Intune on a couple devices in your network, then run Atomic Red Team against them, get some alerts and stuff like that. Don't stand up Sentinel, okay? Because that's a totally different skill set. But just configure and harden a little bit of a cloud Azure instance, put it on your resume, and then you can literally tell employers, hey, listen, yeah, I'm a sysadmin, but I've got a lot of Azure experience. I've done this. And you can do it without having the job yet. That's the beautiful thing about cloud right now, is it's affordable to spin up your own little tiny business and secure the living crap out of it. It doesn't matter if you secure your own business, right? Your own home, your own personal home network. Like, here's my thing. Remember this. When you set up your own little home lab and you have like a cloud Azure AD or Entra and it's hybrid and all that stuff, it doesn't matter that you're not getting paid to do it. It's the same frigging environment as what you're going to do in professional space. So it's valuable. All right. Mental Edge says, badge for Wild West Hack Invest. Does anyone know when they get sent out? I bought the CTF badge in May and still haven't seen it. I don't have an answer for that. I know, you know, the badges are, if you're going in person, they hand them to you in person. I assume that you're a virtual attendee. If you could, I would say go to the Black Hills Discord server or the Wild West Hackin' Fest. Actually, that's exactly what I would do. I would go to the Wild West Hackin' Fest Discord server and ask in there, when are those badges coming out? Look at General Roundup. You know what? I'm gonna literally ask this question right now. Let's see. I assume you're here for virtual attendees. When is the CTF badge being mailed out? Got this question live in chat today. All right, look at I literally just sent this on the Discord server, Mental Edge. So if they respond in the next 5 seconds or whatever, how long we got, 20 minutes, I'll let you know. All right, Mickey says an exception is identified in an audit. Is the GRC analyst expected to quantify the risk all by themselves, or the team to triage and identify remediation plans before it goes to the risk owner for approval? All right, so this is a great question. There's a lot to unpack here. So basically, you're doing an audit and you find out that, like, whatever, they're not patching. Okay. The question is, as the person who discovers the finding, what level of risk assessment and recommendations do you do? Okay. So it depends, Mickey, okay? It depends on a lot of factors, frankly. If you are there just to do an audit, right? If you, like, truly just audit, then you're not going to provide any recommendations, right? You might not even know the environment. You're just there. Now, a lot of times to deliver additional value and also to kind of upsell continuing work, you will offer additional suggestions and stuff, but without any context, the suggestions are going to be kind of like basic and whatever. Okay. Now, if you are a more seasoned GRC professional, normally when you do the audit, it will come with risk assessment value as part of it, right? So a true audit doesn't care about the impact. It's yes or no. A assessment, and this is kind of a nuanced difference between the term assessment and audit. Okay. Hey, what's up? Chimeria Gonzalez, 23 months. Blue badge looks good on you. So if you're doing an assessment, then you would provide a risk assessment and a remediation, right? Because say you find that they're not patching the lab machines. Well, then you could be like, the risk is pretty low here because this machine is not connected to the main network. This machine doesn't have sensitive information on it. So kind of a low risk, not a big deal. Again, this is risk assessment, not audit. Your question asked about audit. Personally, when I do risk assessments, I also, like, I guess this is a more seasoned practitioner thing, but like in the meeting, if I'm like, okay, guys, so are you patching your systems? And they're like, no. The immediate question is, like, okay, wait a minute. Like, none of your systems, none of your internal systems, none of your Linux systems. Like, give me more detail so I can begin to understand what the actual risk is. I would say your remediations are not going to go very far unless you engage the local IT staff. Typically, the people you're interviewing about whatever the control is you're asking about, because they're the ones who are going to have to implement the change. It's going to have to vibe with what they're doing, et cetera, et cetera. Another, Joe Collins, squad member, Nerman, blue badge, 20 months. Thank you guys for the squad membership. Okay, hey, let me let you in on a secret, all of you, okay? What Mickey's talking about in this question right here, there's also an opportunity here. Sometimes the CISO, right, the two thumbs, all smiles, this guy, already knows where their problems are. They already know they're not patching. But, you know, like sometimes when an independent party says it, it hits differently. So sometimes you really should be doing an initial screening call, like typically when you sell the service or set up the project, you want to talk to the CISO and be like, all right, like, hey, are there any problems that we should know about? The CISO might just straight up say, listen, we're not patching. You're definitely going to find it. It's a priority. And, you know, I've been trying to get funding for, you know, Avanti for centralized patch management, just so you know. So then you're obviously going to find it. And then your remediation plan could say something like procure an, you know, enterprise centralized patching solution to resolve this issue and, you know, and address this risk. You wouldn't say Avanti specifically, but you would say the generic like solution, like enterprise patch management solution. And then the CISO is going to give you a high five. And honestly, they're probably going to hire you next year to do the audit because you're helping them achieve their agenda. That's getting like, that's straight up a tip that you will never, ever, ever read in a textbook or hear in a classroom, but that's the reality of how things work. All right. What pathway would you suggest for someone interested in Intel? So cyber threat intelligence is its own dimension within cybersecurity. I like to say cyber threat intelligence straddles Blue and GRC. Honestly, like with cyber threat intel, hold on, is CTI with Jay in chat in here? He's not in here right now. So V Brown, I would say get on the Simply Cyber Discord server and look at CTI with Jay. That is a great resource to do. I would say get familiar with MITRE ATT&CK. If you can, V Brown, if you're already employed, where you could get a trial of Flare.io. Their threat intelligence platform's awesome. If you can stand up a SIM in your home network or at work and start ingesting threat intelligence feeds and looking at what they are and understanding how to incorporate them into like basically security operations, that would be a practical skill that you could develop. So that's all the way I would do it. But just honestly, V Brown, start consuming the crap out of some threat intelligence. There's a ton of it out there. Someone asked, Andrew says, in my opinion, do you believe the job market will get better? Yes. Yeah. Well, in my opinion, you know what? You know why I laugh about this question is because Andrew didn't time box it. So I believe the job market will get better. I am so sorry to be the person to say this. But I'd be doing a disservice to this community if I didn't share this. I believe the job market's going to get worse in the short term. I believe this Christmas and holiday season is going to suck for a lot of people. I think once the Israel thing gets a little bit more either stabilized or resolved, we could see a stabilization and some more money coming in. With the advent of AI and vibe coding and lots of security vulnerabilities coming out, I would predict like next spring, the job market starting to recover. You got to remember, guys. Okay, listen, October 1st. This is so heavy. I don't know, in the United States at least, Doge, way back in January, came, juggernauting through and said, hey, you can quit now, or you can take a deferred retirement, which means you don't even have to come to work anymore, but your final day of work is October 1st or September 30th, right? So that means tens of thousands of government employees are going to become unemployed on October 1st. Okay, so the market's already kind of janky, and then you're going to surge a bunch of new people into the market that have hopefully been looking for work for the last 6 months. Okay, so I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I am so sorry to be the person to say that. That doesn't mean you can't get a job. It doesn't mean no one's going to get a job. It's just... Let me look really quickly to see if no one's responded my comment here. For today, let me just see if there's a 9:30 show really quickly. Hey, you know what the cool thing is? I'm literally going to the Simply Cyber Discord server announcements channel to look at the menu of activities. So you too, if you want to see what's going on for our community, there's a schedule posted every Sunday or Monday of all the activities. This is the service that we do for you, community members. All these activities. Last night, we had the Community Cyber Workshop. We only had 40 people show up. It was unbelievable. I can't believe so many people didn't take advantage of it. All right, so we have Simply Social Engineering at 1 p.m. today. So if it's okay with everybody, I'll go a little bit longer. Let me look at my schedule. I have a meeting at 10 a.m. with James McQuiggan. I'll go a couple minutes over because I do have to prepare for that meeting. And I also have to do a couple other things, but we got a couple more minutes. I'm currently taking a tech course for Help Desk. What other study materials can I use or sites I can study for going to pass that exam? When you say Tech Plus, do you mean Sec Plus? Jenna Powers, let me know. If you mean Sec Plus, then Professor Messer and Jesse Johnson's Slay Security Plus are definitely the places to go. If you're talking Tech Plus, I'm not entirely sure. Let me know. Yeah, Cyber Risk, which says a lot of jobs are being transitioned overseas. I just want to point out, I graduated university in 2002. And at the time, I was a software developer, software engineer. And like outsourcing software jobs to India was like the rage. Like that was the new hotness. Like if you were around in the early 2000s, you might remember this. But like the dot-com boom had boomed and then kind of bubble burst. And there was a massive, like businesses were like, oh, we can get the same thing, but cheaper from India. So there was an outsourcing to India. So what Cyber Risk Witch is talking about has happened before. Dude, I hate to be like old, but like the older you get, and if you're an old in chat, let me know if you agree with this, but you start to see like trends. Like there's like it's like a sine wave. It's like there's ups and downs, and like you can kind of start not predicting, but you can kind of start seeing like, 10-year trends, 20-year trends. Like, so yeah, cyber risk, which you're right, but hopefully it's not too bad. A lot of people are thanking me for my honesty. You're welcome. I wish I had better news. In GRC, what is VP reporting about, and is there a cadence for VP reporting? What's VP here, McKay? Like vice president? Vulnerability. I don't know what this means, but the cadence for reporting up to management can change regularly. I mean, in my organizations that I, run or I'm, CISO for, I have weekly meetings with my team, and then typically, depending on the organization, you might have a weekly meeting with the CIO and the other, executives who report to the CIO. And then you'd have like bigger meetings, maybe quarterly with the board. I don't know if that's your question. Tyrese says, hey, Gerald, do you offer any one-on-one calls or mock interview coaching? I have a GRC interview coming up. Thanks for asking the question, Tyrese. I do not do one-on-one calls. It's not because I don't care. It's because I literally don't have time. Because like one-on-one sounds great. Despite what may or may not be out there as far as information goes, I have courses and I charge for that, but I also have a lot of free stuff. I love serving the community. In one-on-one calls, it's just too much of a time commitment because it's not just one person. Like everybody wants to do a one-on-one call. So if I did that, like literally the whole reason I started the YouTube channel was because I was answering people's questions, and it would take like 15, 20 minutes to answer the question, and then I get the same question. So I made a video, and I said, hey, I get this question off, and go watch this video. Come back to me if you have additional questions. And then I was able to mentor at scale. So one-on-one calls, it's not mentoring at scale. It's much more difficult for me, Tyrese. So I don't do that. But I do, hey, listen, I do have videos on the channel on how to use AI to basically crush job interviews, how to use AI to get your resume tight, how to do all those things. So, there are different communities out there that can help with this. So, if anyone has any suggestions here for Tyrese, I'm not saying it to be like brash. It's just, I from a time perspective, I struggle as it is to deliver on all the things, right? Like last night, Tyrese, we had the cybersecurity workshop. This is like an entire initiative that I'm trying to stand up and get going. Weekly practical skills workshops, very similar to the anti-cast thing. That's the inspiration, right? That takes a lot of time, right? I know some people might think, oh, what's the big deal? Just tell people to show up and it's there. It's not. It's actually much, much more complicated. So thanks for the question. It's a great question, and there are resources out there. Just I can't. How do I become so well-spoken? Thank you, SCole07. That's a very nice compliment. Practice, dude. Honestly. If you're talking about my confidence and my ability to deliver communication, then it's just practice. Listen, I have been on a crusade the last month to get people to do public speaking. Last night, I pinged the server to let people know that Luke Canfield and Chris Hidalgo were doing public speaking. I did a whole live workshop on how to submit a CFP to a conference. I try to get people to speak at Blue Team Summit. SCole07, you just got to put in the time, dude. You know what I mean? And let me be crystal clear with everybody. I went through a very awkward period where I was super anxious. I would get super nervous. My voice would crack, and it sucked. I'm speaking in front of 50 people, and I'm clearly uncomfortable, and I just had to power through it. one of my very, I've told this story before, so Justin Gold's probably rolling his eyes right now. But listen, one of the very, very first public speaking things I ever did, one person showed up in a real audience, like in a real life. I promoted this talk and I set up like 100 chairs and one person attended and he sat in the back row, okay? And I still gave that talk, the full talk, as if there was a whole crowd there, and I asked her questions and stuff. That was the first time I met that guy. That guy and I actually became long-term friends. I go on a camping trip with him and like 8 other guys every year. But my point is, practice, man. You got to put in the practice. And eventually, you know. All right, continue to look. I'm going to start speed running because we're behind on. I want to end I want to get like 9:30 is really fair. 30-minute AMA. Should the CISO be under the CIO or Jason? CISO is under CIO quite regularly. I don't think the CIO should report to the CISO. I like CISO reporting to risk or the CFO. I find that's pretty good. I'm not a big fan of CISO reporting to CIO, but I get it. Unfortunately, the reality is when the CISO reports to the CIO's initiatives and agenda take priority. So I'll give you a perfect example. I worked for a company as a CISO, right? And we had to get an MDR solution. I wanted to go with this particular solution, and the CIO overruled me. I'm like, this is what I want. This is exactly what we need. I've done all the research. I work in this industry. I went to school for like 25 years to learn all these things. I've done the research. This is why you hired me. We should go with this solution. And he's like, no, we're going to go with this other one I've decided. Like just off the top rope coming in from nowhere. Top 3 source SIM solutions. Ooh, that's a tough one. It depends on your environment. I mean, Splunk is the big dog in the room as far as SIM goes, but it's wicked expensive. SOAR, I don't really have a good answer for SOAR. If anyone in chat has an option for SOAR SIM, I do like the Elastic Stack personally for the SIM. When are you going to the original room, AI? When are you going back to the original room? I don't know what dream logic you're saying. If you're talking about my old studio, I will be back there mid-August, okay? I'll be from the hotel room next week, and then I'll be at my studio the following week. Oh, Jenna Powers says Tech Plus cert. Then I'm sorry, Jenna Powers. I don't have a good answer for that. I hadn't even heard about that. There's a ton of great... Actually, you know what, Jenna Powers? I don't know if it would align with your cert, but let me share this with you. At Simply Cyber Academy, which there's a link, and this is free, okay? So I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. I'm not trying to monetize I'm not trying to... Right here, Jenna. Cyber Career Launchpad. This right here. This is literally me taking you through a bunch of practical free resources. Fundamentals, IT, operating systems, web apps, GRC, all of this. This is a free course. This is a free course that I made and I provide because I like serving this community. And yes, some of my courses do cost money, but some of them are free. The basic entry-level ones, the ones that help people get from 0 to 1, those are the free ones. So I'll drop a link in chat for Jenna. All right. Continuing to speed run. Is late 30s old? No. Yeah, Alex, see, no, old 30s. 30s isn't old. I mean, I've hired people in their 40s. Personally, I would stick in IT. Dude, between AI and all the risks that are coming with that and the amount of people who are going to, like, I don't want to say people are going to get dumber, but people are getting, like, People are starting with the calculator instead of learning math and then using a calculator. So by being in IT, you understand math, not just the calculator. If that metaphor makes a lot of sense, I would stick in IT. I'm biased though. So do you have any recommendations on best home lab setup? Is this a good desk, or do you need this type of monitor mount? Oh, like actually like, are you talking about like your actual physical infrastructure, not like sim, like elk stack and stuff? I mean, personally, Jazzy Jazz, it depends on what you want. I mean, personally, I run Security Onion at my house. I purchased like a little $250 NUC. I mean, they don't call them NUCs, but it's basically a NUC from Amazon that, you know, has a Ryzen chip and enough memory. I span ported it off my Switch and stuff like that. So I'm getting that information. Personally, I like having a big screen monitor display, separate mouse and keyboard. Even though I run off a laptop, like right now, I still have all that infrastructure. Personally, here's the thing. If you got a home lab or something like that, if you're trying to learn cyber or you're working in cyber, I don't care what particular job you're doing, it translates. You want to be comfortable. Listen, if you're sitting there for 8 hours a day and trying to like engage yourself mentally and level up, you want to be as comfortable as possible. Like, please take this as like Bible or gospel or whatever it is, right? I'm not very religious. Like, you want to remove as much friction from yourself as possible between you and learning, or you and delivering excellence at your job. And if that means having a comfortable chair, a comfortable work setup, a little mini fridge with your Monster Energy drinks if you're Daniel Lowry, like whatever it is, I'm not saying splurge and buy a gold toilet. I'm just saying make your environment that you're spending so much time in comfortable for you, so you aren't constantly fidgeting or bitching about how your display is hard to see, or you're getting frustrated because your computer's slow. Like, make your environment as frictionless as possible between you and excellence in delivering either work or learning. All right. And I understand that costs money, right? So sometimes it's not as easy as like, oh, thanks, Jerry. Are you going to blank check my home studio? No. But like, dude, I used to, like, again, I'm not trying to make this like a boo-hoo for Jerry party or something like that. But dude, before my wife met me, I had concrete block furniture, okay? So, like, you make it as comfortable as you can given the means and resources you have, right? How to improve threat hunting? Well, first of all, go check out Wade Wells. He's a threat hunter extraordinaire. But what I would say is, you know, if you can, well, if you really want to get decent at threat hunting and improve it as a skill set, what I would say is build like a home lab and then run Atomic Red Team, a very specific attack that you're not configured to block, okay? Then go look for signs of the attack. That is threat hunting, right? And then it's not threat hunting, it's detection engineering, but go put a detection in place and then run the same attack again and make sure that you can detect it. Then iterate over the next one. So basically, threat hunting is just doing bad and not having some automation stop it or detect it. And then you manually go find it. You manually go hunt it. Is GRC, what's a risk committee and what's a typical meeting cadence? So a risk committee can often be like a subcommittee of a board that's focused on risk for the organization in general. The risk committee would be larger than just cyber, right? Enterprise risk is so hot right now.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Enterprise risk and enterprise risk managers is like a big trend right now. Like it was big like maybe, I don't know, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, but it's still hot. Cyber reports into that. That's why you'll see some organizations having the risk report to the, cyber report to the risk officer. A typical cadence, I mean, monthly is not uncommon. Quarterly, annual is way too infrequent, and weekly is way too frequent. Because risks don't really change that quickly, a quarterly cadence is not that bad. So I would say if I had put money on it, I'd say quarterly. Best way to showcase your skills: get a blog, get a homepage, get a website, get a YouTube channel, get something, and centralize it all. Whatever you do, cross promote it, have a central location that everything links back to, and put it all over the place. Share, let people know what you're working on, okay? Don't think that you showcasing your skills is somebody inbound finding it. You've got to tell people about it, okay? Pedro applied for a vulnerability management analyst position. Any advice? Yeah, sure. Understand how to use a vulnerability management scanner and understand that you won't be able to patch all the things and why you can't patch all the things. Sometimes the risk is not high enough. Number two, it breaks some business function that's making money, so they don't want to deal with it. Number three, it would, literally the end-of-life software that can't support it. All right, continuing. I'm trying to speed run these right now. What is Simply CyberCon? Oh, my God. Check it out really quickly. Definitely going longer than I wanted to, but Simply CyberCon is our conference, this community's conference. We meet annually in November. You can attend virtually. You can also attend remotely. I mean, Jesus, you can attend virtually. You can attend in person. There are trainings this year. When I get back from Black Hat, I plan on going full, blitzkrieg campaign on promoting the crap out of it. So come on down, check it out. Holla. All right, let's keep going. Christina Paulika's up in here. Show your work is a good one to check out. It talks about getting over the fear of showing off your work. There you go. Christina, I don't know if there's a link or something for show your work. I don't know what that means, but oh, good. We're all caught up. All right, guys. Hey, listen, if you're going to be in Vegas next week, shout out. I'm certainly excited about it. Got a full week of activities culminating at the Simply CyberCon meetup. I can't wait to absolutely deliver crispy high fives to everybody who's there. I am going to be super pumped. Can't wait for it. I hope you can attend. We have 100 and I think, listen, the cap is 200 people. This isn't a fear-mongering technique. The cap is 200 people. We have 138, I think, or 145 people registered right now. So, we're about 3/4 full at this time. Last question, Jerry, wondering what seat... Hold on, what? How many hours a week do you work? Oh my gosh, I don't think you want to know that answer, dude. Let me answer Legrod's question. What seat do you use to drive? Have a back injury seat? Oh, it's this one. I actually, it literally travels with me now, Legrod. I can send you an Amazon link, but it's this one. Whatever this is. Okay. This thing is gold. Your butt goes here. Your front goes here. Hold on 1 second. Front here, butt here. Literally, this thing travels with me now. I mean, I don't take it into a restaurant, but I love it. Legrod, I can drop a Amazon link. In fact, I'll just do it live on chat right now. This thing is awesome. Literally, if I put it in the car and then forget to bring it back in the house, I'll stop what I'm doing and go get it. See if I can. Well, check it out. I mean, basically, there's a whole bunch of options, but they're all look the same. You know what I mean? It's one of these things. I know it looks like something that old people who have therapeutic shoes or whatever those things, like white New Balance shoes or something. But I'm telling you, once you sit on one of these suckers, you're like, why did I not sit on this before? Okay, so really quick, this question: how many hours a week do you work? So let's see. I work 11 hours a day. 11 hours a day on Monday through Friday. And then I probably work 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday. So 55 and then 8, 63. So 60 hours a week, I suppose, 60 plus. All right. Oh, show your work as a book. Okay. All right, listen. There we go. Christina Paulika and Code Brew are talking about this. We gotta giddy up on it. I think this is it right here. All right, we got a book recommendation. There it is. Thank you, Code Brew and Christina Paulika. All right, guys, I got to giddy up on out of here. I got a meeting with the James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Yeah. All right, guys, be well. Thank you all so very much. Apologies for the Sailor Moon Jerry on stream this morning with the F-bomb. Not my intent, but just, you know, I don't know, some things, man. Some things just, I'm a very emotional guy, okay? I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Have a great day. Keep crushing it, and we will see you at 1 p.m. Eastern for Simply Social Engineering. Until next time, stay secure.